Long-awaited decision to greenlight the construction of the controversial pipeline required approval from both Tanzania and Uganda. With Uganda giving its approval and license to the project coordinator last month, Tanzania's decision to approve has now paved the way for the $3.5 billion project to begin. The 24-inch diameter pipeline will be insulated and buried and is expected to be the longest heated pipeline in the world. The ownership for the project is divided among Tanzania and Uganda and oil companies, with TotalEnergies having a 62% stake, China National Offshore Oil Corporation Uganda having 8%, Uganda National Oil Company at 15%, and the Tanzania Petroleum Development Corporation getting 15%. Despite being promoted as an economic boom for both East African countries, it faces strong opposition from environmental campaigners. They say it threatens the region's fragile ecosystem and the livelihood of tens of thousands of people. Officials from the East Africa Crude Oil Pipeline Project have denied this. They say 89% of those who will be affected by the project have already received compensation.
So guys, here you see where Tanzania and Uganda come together and sign a deal to make the pipeline pass through the country from the Total Energy giant. I like this deal. Why? Because Tanzania getting 15%, Uganda getting 15%. 62% goes to the Total Energy company and 8% to the Chinese. I think that why they're getting the 8% is maybe because they're aiding in this project. But this is what I like about this, because first time they never used to give these kind of percentages to countries in Africa. Why? They used to just hire mercenaries. They're talking about the oil companies. They used to hire mercenaries, clear the villages, displace people, kill people, displace them, and force them out, and just run the pipeline. But now, because of collaboration between African countries, they can no longer take advantage of African countries. So what they now have to do, they have to actually sign deals with these countries so they can run the pipeline and give the country some economic growth and cash in their pocket to run the pipeline through. And as I say, it's a big project. Here's a picture of the CEO of this company. Look in there. And quick note, as you're seeing in there, they have around a little over 100,000 people working. They have the company is worth over $320 billion. You understand? So okay, so that's it right there. $320 billion, 15% of that's the value of the company. So 15% of that, you can imagine how much billions of dollars that are going to be for Tanzania and for Uganda to put in the economy to help the other projects. So this is a great look. I know they're going to have some people going to be against it, because there's always, for any project, there's always other people that goes against it. It's a given. Environmentalists going to say, this is not good for the environment, but in order for any country to move forward, you have to have projects. You have to have development. So I can see with the environmentalists, but you can't always side with them, because this, to me, is an up and up. It's more transparency, as I tell you, because the countries are now collaborating. So there's no longer going to one country and pay off the corrupt politicians, because there's no more. There is not that much corruption now in African countries, because of the African Union and the Transparency. They are now sanctioning countries if they do anything like that. So they are policing each other. So that's a good thing. That's why you have these emerging economies right now, like Nigeria, South Rwanda, Zimbabwe, Ghana, South Africa, which is the giant when it comes to economical boom in the continent. So for all these people who are saying African countries not collaborating, this is proof that they are, and now that they're actually reaping benefits from this collaboration. Because now this giant company has to pay 15% annually, and this is not a one-time payment. As long as the pipeline is there, they have to they're gonna be being paid annually for using the space. So it's not like they are selling the space. It's a deal they're gonna get permanently, that 15%. And this same company, they just move out of Russia because of the whole sanction thing, but they still have a 20% stake in Russia that cannot be dissolved because of all the contract was signed. So they're still getting paid regardless of what the West is saying. And this is most countries, even though America is sanctioning Russia so much, they still have countries dealing with Russia directly, and they can't do nothing about it. But they just, on the front page of the news, they say, no, this country not gonna stop taking the Russian oil and Russian gas and blah 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 and hazard and comfort. But knowing on the back end, they are still supplying and using Russian oil because they don't have a choice. And but on face value, Russia will take it because Russia want the money, so they will take it, obviously. But don't. That's why I don't understand why America won't sanction European countries that are still buying oil and dealing with Russian products, but they want to do that to Africa and sanction African countries that do trade with Russia. So you see the disingenuousness of this whole thing. So yeah. So I hope you all learned something today as always. That's the goal. You learn, I learn, we learn together, and put this forefront to the West, the African Caribbeans, African Americans, Afro Caribbean, because the Western news don't show these things like what we're talking about here presently, because they're still trying to make it seem as if Africa is this begging country, when they see quite the opposite, because the West can't do without Africa. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Support the channel, tell a friend, subscribe. So the more we grow, the more videos I can do, and hopefully soon enough I can be able to travel to Africa, the continent myself, and get some interviews done, hopefully. So that's my goal, is to go to Africa this year. So by subscribing, you'll aid in that, and then you get more content, and I can hopefully, who knows, bring one or two of my subscribers with me along to Africa on a trip. You never know what can happen. So anyway, thanks for watching. You don't know. Peace, one love. Boom.